Make sure everybody. We will make this recording available. We've got a lot of content. We've got a lot of things that we're going to be going over, and we'll discuss this a little bit more. But definitely stick around. We've got some things that we didn't actually have in the first round. If you were at the first round and didn't get them, it's because we didn't have them at the time, and we've created a few resources, or at least one resource that we want to give out to everybody. And then if anybody that attends live will get that, and definitely want to make sure you guys understand it. I mean, that's the thing. That's the real goal of this, is just helping you guys understand what this is about. Three more minutes and then we'll get started. And I'll watch as they come online. Also, if you guys would tell us where you're from, if you don't mind. I'm actually in the southwest corner of Missouri, down in a small town called Bolivar, Mexico. Love that. This is worldwide.
All right. We made it.
Yeah.
We're worldwide.
Yeah.
Glad to have you, Ruth.
Letting more people come in.
Dallas,
Texas, but originally from Mexico.
Cool.
Okay. Love Dallas. Dallas is a great area.
Mm-hmm.
However, their airport seems like I always get stuck in the airport. We were talking about airports earlier.
Yeah.
It's like if I have to make a stop in Dallas, it's normally delayed, or it has been in the past. I shouldn't say that. But
I feel like every time I was flying back from South Florida, I would inevitably be in Dallas and just get the strangest looks because of me just being this like beach bummed coastal soul. I was bleach hair, tan, flip flops, and a sombrero attached to my back.
Yeah. Eco Team. Is that Jose? Jose, is that you?
Yes, it is me.
Hey, Jose. Long time no see.
Oh, Mark, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Yeah, it's been what, almost 30 years now?
It's been a long time. I've been doing this for a long time. So you can at least contest to that, huh?
I know. I remember when the program, it was a DOS program,
Yep.
DOS.
Yep.
And then went to Windows and now in the cloud. Wow, I can't believe it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So there are some new people coming in here. If two different things. If you would tell us from where you're from, and also where you are in the spectrum of knowing what Chat GPT is. 0 meaning I don't know anything but maybe the name, and 10 is I'm using it on a daily basis and loving it. If you can kind of give me a range there, that would be good. Jose, I was going to tell you I enjoyed your photos of the Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
That
yes.
looked like a heck of a trip. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. It was actually we went over there for my birthday, and we are, well, Laura's there. We did our 30-year anniversary.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, very cool.
All right. What a place to go for your 30 year.
Yeah. It's amazing that he had some.
And you know what? We need to say happy birthday to my wife because she's turning 35 today.
And it was your 30-year anniversary and she's turning 35?
That's right. That's right.
Laura's turning 35 today.
All right. Laura, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
She's in mute.
Well, certainly unmute if you want. We're going to do this very, very casual, open. So, if you guys have questions as we go along, feel free to speak up and, raise your hand or just unmute yourself and we'll go about going through that. So, we just want to make sure everybody is, comfortable and, knowing what we're doing here and helping educate you on Chat GPT. We're going to probably have several more of these as we go along, but we've got some really good content that we want to share, and we probably ought to go ahead and start getting going here. So let's see, a couple more joining. There we go. Kathy's in the house. All right. Do you guys see our screen? My screen?
Yeah.
Real estate? Okay, awesome. Well, let's just go ahead and get going. Cody, you want to start us?
Yeah, let's do it. Well, first off, everyone, welcome to the webinar today. We're so grateful to have you guys. Just a quick outline of what today is going to look like. We're going to do intros from Mark and I. And we're going to cover some baseline terminology that you guys kind of need to know to be successful with ChatGPT. And then after that, we're going to dive into how you as a real estate agent can apply ChatGPT into your business. And we're going to do that by sharing several examples. So, I think based on the different sections we've had previously, we're really excited for that. Now, Mark and I are both kind of long-winded people, so we're probably not going to get to cover everything. That's something we learned on this last one. But at the end, we are going to share with you guys some opportunities to deep dive with us with ChatGPT a little bit further in the future. So, stick around for that. And I hear, Mark, that you actually have some bonuses that you kind of cooked up last night for them.
Yeah, one of the things that on the last session that we did, we went through lots of stuff, and I had planned a lot more, but wanted to make sure that everybody had the resources of the things that we talk about today. And so if, stick around to the end, we'll give you a link to those resources and be able to utilize those, today. So make sure that you have access to them.
Cool. Yeah. And with that being said, what are you going to gain from today? It's our goal to help you guys understand how ChatGPT can be used in your real estate business to just make you more efficient. And then we're going to share a little bit about Mark's core strategies. It's an acronym for conversions, operations, retentions, and experiences, kind of the 4 areas you need good systems. We'll dive deep into that and how those can be applied to ChatGPT. And then at the end of it, we're hoping to help you become that tech-empowered real estate agent who's kind of on the leading edge of technology using AI in your business. So that's the goal for today. My name's Cody Stepp. I am the program director over here at Workflow Secrets. I'm also a real estate technologist, and I like to call myself an AI and ChatGPT enthusiast. And I'm also a prompt engineer, and it's our goal by the end of this webinar for you guys to get to call yourselves prompt engineers as well. So
absolutely. My name is Mark Stepp. For those that don't know me, I am one of the co-founders of RealVolve and currently CIO there, which basically lets everybody know that I like to be innovative in the things that I do, and certainly ChatGPT is one of those. I am a software engineer, been doing software for 40 some odd years now. A lot of time in real estate. I am a Workflow Secrets bestselling author with Cody. We co-wrote a book called Our Best Workflow Secrets. You can get that on Amazon if you take a look at that. Oh, man, you'd think I'd be better if I was a technologist, huh? But I am an AI and GPT enthusiast as well. The thing that I've been keeping an eye on the whole industry as a whole for some time, but until November, it really wasn't manifested like it is right now. So we're really excited about what we're going to be showing you and learning about what a prompt engineer is, the whole idea of a prompt and kind of how it goes along. So One of the things that we're going to be talking about is AI, artificial intelligence. And while we're going to be concentrating on OpenAI and Microsoft, I want you guys to understand that there are lots of other options. And just seeing the option, I mean, Sparrow's out there, Bard's out there, Jasper, there's several different ones besides that. Some are text-based, some are image-based, some are just lots of different variations of AI that's out there. But just realize that we're really concentrating on OpenAI's interface called Chat GPT today.
That's right. And I think, Mark, it's worth noting there's kind of a Silicon Valley turn of phrase that winners are often shot in the back by pioneers. So I think it's nice that we can focus on OpenAI today, but I want you guys to also kind of keep in mind that we don't know at the end of the day who is going to be the dominant force. So don't necessarily get so hung up on any one name or title. Look at the concepts that you're being taught about how to use these tools. And I think you're going to be much more successful, especially because I think over the next maybe 3 to 5 years, the landscape's going to shift pretty dramatically. And so I think if we can keep those concepts in mind, we're going to be just fine.
Absolutely. Good point there. So artificial intelligence really is just the ability to, in our case, using generative pre-trained transformer. That's the GPT of chat. And basically what we're doing is we're using a virtual assistant using natural language. And it's just a matter of typing in something and getting a result. If you were to go and if you've got an assistant right now, you go and you verbally say, hey, I want to do this, or you send them a text, hey, can you do this for me? It's the exact same thing. There's really no difference. All that we're doing is we're using Chat GPT as that assistant, not that we're replacing your assistant on things, because there's certainly things that can't be done by Chat GPT or any of the AI, at least at this point. But it's something that if it's content that you need, stuff like that, it's certainly something that can be done very easily.
That's right. And I think it's also worth noting here, just a little bit of background on OpenAI. They were founded as a nonprofit. They've kind of moved into some profit model since then, but their goal from founding was to keep AI out of the hands of just the tech giants or just the old boys club of like Wall Street. And they really wanted to make sure it was publicly available for society. And so I think that has been a really interesting model to observe, with them seeking to improve humanity over shareholders, right? And I think it's boded really well for them. They seem to be capturing a really large area of the market, and they had 1 million accounts created in the first like 5 days.
Yeah.
So clearly they're doing something right. And I think that model is, definitely something to keep in mind.
Absolutely. I completely agree. So keeping that in mind, we're basically dealing with OpenAI, ChatGPT, but just remember, any of them can be used. Now, the question for you guys, I'm sure coming into this, is going to be, what can ChatGPT help me with? As a real estate agent, what are the different things that can actually be accomplished? Now, this is probably just a subset of all the different things that could be done. And we're going to hit on a few of these, try to make sure that you guys understand how to use them properly. Now, there are a lot of, if you go out to YouTube, there's lots of people saying, oh, you can create property descriptions. Just go out there and, type in a property description for an address, and it kicks out all kinds of great content. The problem is the content isn't correct. So we're going to show you some methods for doing that, but property descriptions, marketing materials, any kind of real estate content that you might be using for lead magnets and stuff like that, customer communication, the list goes on and on.
That's right. And I think too, right now we're in an interesting space where there's a lot of different camps. And when people see how can it help me, really what they're asking is, what jobs will it perform? And so I would just encourage you guys all to adopt the abundance mindset. of, it's not that ChatGPT will take away jobs, but it's actually going to make jobs better. And it's going to enhance what we're able to do. One of the easiest examples I can think of for that is sometimes as software engineers, Mark, you're just staring at lines and lines of computer code. And for us normal folk, we don't know what that is, but you could spend an entire day looking for just like a single parenthesis that's out of place. And what ChatGPT can do is it can scroll all of that and it can tell you exactly where that parenthesis that's missing is missing, why it's wrong, how it can be fixed, and it's going to do it in 30 seconds. And so now as a computer engineer,
Instantly.
you can start to build things and you're not so focused on just, oh man, where is this error, and you can kind of have a better job for it. So I think that that's one of the really cool, shifting focus away from like, what is it going to take, but more, what can it give?
Absolutely. And, a practical application for our real estate folks would be, why not take maybe the text of maybe a non-custom contract of some sort. You could paste it into ChatGPT and say, summarize this, find any potential challenges with this, and it could go through. Now, it's not legal. It's not a legal, checking legalities and stuff like that, but it can at least go through, because it's been trained on lots of different possibilities. It can go in and it can find idiosyncrasies that you may not see just kind of reading through it. So lots of really good potential there for how ChatGPT or any of the AI pieces can actually be used.
That's right.
So to give you guys a look at what, if you've never seen ChatGPT in the past, you can go to openai.com, go to the ChatGPT area, and we can show you how to get there. But basically, the first thing that you're going to see is a menu where you can type in information. And down here at the bottom, I just put in here a simple prompt that says, create a property description for a 2-story home with 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, large family room for entertainment listed at, and then the price, acres, some additional amenities, blah, 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 and pressed enter. And then it took that content and created something much more verbose, much better wording, more detailed. And it gave a really good description. Now, there's lots of things that we can do, but the one real key thing here is making sure that this is the prompt, and this is what we're going to be talking about, is asking the right questions so that you get the right answers.
That's right. And I think it's worth noting that with this large language learning model, it can be wrong. And typically when it's wrong pretty spectacularly, right? But it can also be incredibly well-tuned and highly efficient. And so I think we, as users of this technology, need to adopt one of the most powerful words, and it's the word discernment. And I think that if you guys take any word away from what I'm sharing with you guys today, I know, Mark, you've got your own word, but my word is going to be discernment, because I think it's so valuable. And I like to always say, would you give the keys to your 1965 Mustang to a 16-year-old? And the answer is probably no. And it's because they don't have the ability to make good judgment calls. And so we need to use our own discernment and make the judgment call for it. And so with ChatGPT, we know that it can get things wrong. So we need to make sure that the input or the questions we're stating to it are good questions. But then we also need to be checking the output. And we don't need to just like copy and paste and go, because we're gonna have a lot of issues at that point if we do something like that.
Absolutely. So we're talking about prompts, and a prompt is just the conversation between the bot itself, whether it's ChatGPT or any of the other providers, and the user, that would be you, involving asking or prompting the user for information. And then what it does then is it parses it weeds through what you've asked, and it acts upon that information. So if it's kind of like a genie, genie in a bottle. You ask the genie for, you know, a wish. You got to be really careful about what you get, because what you ask, because it may not be exactly what you want. It can be interpreted differently. So you have to be extremely cognitive of the things that you ask it.
That's right. And I think once you have your prompt, that's where we can become that prompt engineer. And that's kind of what we were talking about. By the end of this, it's our goal that you can adopt the identity of the prompt engineer. And the prompt engineer is basically the user, us, knowing how to ask good questions and direct and kind of course correct ChatGPT, so that you can use that discernment, and then you can use your own expert as the real estate agent, whether it be in a specific area of real estate, or maybe you are really good at a specific program that is being offered. You can take all of those things, and when ChatGPT gives you answers that aren't maybe the best, you can say, wait a second, it's actually this. And then you get a chance to kind of give it additional context.
Yeah. And it's really important, especially since you guys are specialists in real estate. That's where you can take that speciality, the things that you know about real estate, and really use that discernment to see, was it accurate or not? And if it wasn't accurate, what can I type in to correct my question, my statements, or actually tell it, hey, this is not correct. This is. And you can actually make sure that it understands the correct response that should have came back. So
that's right.
Okay. And seeding.
Yeah, so this is, you know, just like you're saying, Mark, this is where this kind of all comes full circle. So seeding is basically when we are giving information about us, about our business, about what we do to help our clients in real estate, and we're giving it to ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT is already trained on millions of different data points, but they're not specific data points. So just like when Mark was showing you guys that ChatGPT wall, he was using specific data to help make sure that ChatGPT understood it. Now, a really good example of what we over here at Workflow Secrets did was I took about 170 pages of a Google document, and I started giving ChatGPT all of this information about who we are, what we do, who you guys are, what real estate agents do. And then I took, you know, pretty well most of this book, and I just started plugging it in. So once I did all of that, it took some time, but now I have a ChatGPT portal that is really finely tuned and able to give me better outputs or give me better answers, because it now understands a lot about me, and I'm not having to spend a lot of time reteaching it or restating things like that.
Absolutely. And, you know, as the real estate agent, especially if you're in a team, ChatGPT does not know your team. They do not know any information about who you are, where you serve, what area, you know, city, location, stuff like that. Now, there may be some information about your location, but, you know, what are the areas that you serve? What types of properties that you regularly work with, stuff like that. By seeding it or giving that information ahead of time, anytime that you go and want to create advertisements, and you say, or content, any kind of emails that maybe you reference your listing coordinator. Well, if you've seeded it with the listing coordinator information, then it can be very specific about, hey, this is Mary, she does blah, 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 you know, just all the different things about what that position holds is kind of the seeding part. It's telling ChatGPT about you and your team and the things that you do, so that whenever it creates content pertaining to you, your team, and what you do, it can give better answers to the questions.
That's right.
And how do you seek the information to
Well,
GPT?
we're going to show you how to do that. We're actually getting ready to go through that. One last thing here, and then we'll actually go through that. So one of the things that I have taught for some time now is what I call the core strategies. Every real estate agent, technically probably every business in one form or other, has what what they would have built into their business, what I call core strategies. It deals with conversions. That's everything from getting a lead, using lead magnets, conversation nurturing, all the way up to the time that they sign a listing or buyer agreement. That's all the C stuff. That's all your conversion process. And, you know, your website leads people to you, and you do all the nurturing. Once you've got that listing agreement or buyer's agreement, then it goes through the operations. What are the things that I do for pre-listing, for listing, for all my inspections and all the things all the way to closing day? That's the money maker. All the things that you do in your operations, and part of the core is in that range. So there's lots of emails that you send, lots of content that you create that all deals with operations. Retention is from the time that they close on the property all the way until they come back as a repeat client. That's all the retention stuff, you know, the nurturing, the keeping up, the client events, stuff like that. And the experiences is kind of like a wrapper for those first three. And it's about giving the clients the world-class experience that they would want to come back and use you again and again and again, and refer other people to you. So if you've got your core strategies set up and the tactics that go along with those, then your business itself will continue to grow. And what we try to do is use technology to make these elements easier for you so that you spend less time doing them and more time having to be available so that you can do the things that you want to do.
That's right. And I think, so this is kind of the foundation that we wanted to set for you guys, just so you understand some of the basic terms. And now what we're going to do is we're going to dive into and show you guys kind of what this looks like live. And I'm going to just pretty well turn it over to Mark. He's going to pull up GPT, and we're going to walk through some of these examples of how you can utilize the core strategies in Chat GPT to really empower your business.
Okay, so whenever you first log into ChatGPT, you can just go to chat.openai.com/chat. It will have you log in the first time. If you don't have an account, you can create one. It is free. There is a free version. I'm actually using the plus version, the paid version. The advantage to this is they don't keep you from using it whenever it gets really, really busy. One of the challenges with growing so fast like they have is just having the availability of server space to be able to do stuff. And if you've got a paid version, it's like $20 a month, well worth the investment. It will prevent you from having to wait possibly hours just to even get online. So that said, what I want to do is going back to the core strategies. If we think about what's one of the first things that you need to do as a real estate agent, and if you've already done this is great. I'm kind of doing this for maybe for some of the beginners, is making sure that as a real estate agent that you have some kind of niche, you have some kind of speciality that you create content for, so that it attracts those buyers, those sellers that are looking for a particular niche. Now, the question might be, if I'm a new agent, is what kind of niche are you talking about? What kind of speciality are you talking about? Well, what you can do, and some of these prompts, you don't really have to write these down. We're going to make these available to you. Here's one that we've created. Create a list of 100 niche ideas. That's somebody else in here. Create a list of 100 niche ideas that I, as a real estate agent, so they know who I am, can specialize in, that would give me a unique advantage over other agents in my area. So this is just give me a list. That's all I'm asking for. So this is like Chat 101, give me a list of something, and it's certainly able to do it. Has no seating, it has nothing. It's just give me what you got. So it kind of comes in here and it starts building a list. And the advantage here is now you're getting some ideas, some things that you could actually specialize in if you're not already specialized. And you may have multiples of these if you've been in the business for some time. Now, I'm going to come down here and just click on stop generating. I don't really need it to spend all the time to go through 100 of them, but realize that it would create a list of 100 different things. If I said more, then it would give me, even more. But what it is now I can go through this list and I can identify something that interests me as far as something that I can specialize in as a real estate agent. Now, I might go in here and say, well, let's do luxury homes. So I could copy luxury homes and actually go in and use another prompt and says, okay, create a list of attention grabbing lead magnet ideas down here at the bottom. Actually, let me make this a little larger for you guys. Create a list. My eyes are starting to get old. As an older person, people always made fun. I always made fun of people. I didn't really make fun of them, but all these, whenever I was younger, this wasn't a problem. I get older and now all my eyes are just not working the way they used to. Create a list of attention grabbing lead magnet ideas for home buyers and sellers that I can use in a PDF document that would be useful for people looking for luxury homes. So I grabbed luxury homes and I stuck it in here. So it gave me, an idea. So let's just see what ChatGPT will come up with. So as something went wrong, let me see, regenerate. Let me refresh this 1 second, probably because I stopped it. There we go. And that's an example of if the system gets really busy, you can get something like that. Because I've got a paid version, I can typically get past it. Create a list of attention grabbing ideas. So here's some attention grabbing ideas of things that it could do. So it gives me a title: The Ultimate Guide to Buyers and Sellers Luxury Homes, a comprehensive PDF guide that covers everything a potential buyer or seller needs to know about luxury home market. Wow, that sounds pretty good. 10 insider tips. So it gives me all these different ideas of things that I can create and make as a lead magnet, as a handout, as whatever I want to use it for. And particularly if you wanted to create on your website, you might have some drop down on your website. Are you looking for luxury homes? Are you looking for first-time home buyer information? That type of information gives them direct access to something, hopefully, that is in that category that they need in their life for whatever reason. Okay, in this case, luxury homes. So what I can do is grab one of these, and I'm just going to do this ultimate guide similar to this, and I'm going to paste in the next prompt here. So create the content. So I'm taking it one step further. I'm saying not only thank you for the title of this and kind of what we're doing, but I want you to create the content for the PDF. Here's the guide, the name. Now it is different than what was actually here, because I've actually done this a few different times and I've saved the actual prompt, but you would just come in here and replace whatever the title is with whatever you chose. So if you grab something here, paste it in, you can certainly do that. So create the content for a PDF that is titled, whatever the title is, in long form conversational text. Now this is some special wording that we found that actually gives us better wording for the information that they're going to return. That includes home finding ideas, tips, tricks, and even traps to watch out for in the Springfield, Missouri area. Now you're going to come in here and you're going to put in your area, in Dallas area, Houston area, wherever you guys are from, put that in there. Or if you specialize in a certain area of a large city, certainly put that in there. Include paragraphs, bullet points, and other things to think about. So I'm giving it a good prompt and I'm seeding it with a little bit of information of what I'm really wanting to have it return back. So here now it has said, okay, here is the introduction to this PDF file. And because you said, so it goes through and gives a little introduction, because you said you wanted it for Springfield, Missouri, then it gives some Springfield, Missouri information, finding home ideas. So it's going through and it's creating all this content. Now, what's interesting to know is that because this is Chat GPT, if you do this exact same prompt, I mean, even if I do this exact same prompt, if I was to type it exactly the same again, it will not give me the exact same response every time. It's generating it as we're going. And that's what's so amazing about this. And that's why so many people are so excited about this, because the content, really good content, typically, is there for you to use. And right now, because it's not a person generating it, it's the software, it's free content. You can use it however you want to use it. It's not copyrighted or anything like that. So you can use it. Now, again, going back to what Cody's favorite word is discernment. Go through this. Make sure it's accurate. Make sure it's what you want to say. And if it's not something that is right, then you copy this, paste it into a Google Doc, export it to your to a PDF, and then use it. But make sure that before you export it, that you read it well, make any changes, and go along with it. And I mean, how easy was that? Any questions, statements, thoughts? All right. If you guys have any questions or whatever, just unmute yourself and we can certainly answer whatever questions.
I do have a question for you.
Sure.
Languages, you could use any language. Let's say if I want, because we do a lot of clientele that are Spanish speakers. So if I want this content in Spanish, all I gotta do is put the question in Spanish and that's it?
You can say, translate this to Spanish, or you could type it in Spanish. It is more familiar with English terminology just because it was trained on English on terminology. But so we come in here, and now I do not know Spanish. So you're going to have to tell me what this actually, it may be saying I can't do Spanish. I'm not sure what is that saying?
It says, I'm sorry, but what we need to be translated. It's asking about, I guess, the previous, is it previous?
Oh, okay. I should say,
Translate the previous, something like that, no?
yeah.
So this is a really good example of where Mark didn't give enough context to his prompt. And so he wasn't following a good prompt engineering standard. And ChatGPT was a little confused. Now, ChatGPT did help him out by saying, hey, I'm not quite sure what you're asking. But when he takes that context, he can then kind of use a little bit of circumnavigating, reorient that question, and it should be able to help him out a little bit more.
There we go. So now it takes, because I said I originally said translate this to Spanish, and it was waiting for something else besides what I did. I should have said translate the above information to Spanish, so that it knew, look at the above information and use it. So now it's taking that information and putting it into Spanish. Because I don't know Spanish, is it accurate? Is it, I know there's kind of different flavors of Spanish. So definitely make sure that it says what you want it to say properly. But how's that? Is that?
Yeah, I use it to put a post on Instagram. We used it last time. It's about in Spanish, what is the difference between a townhome and a condominium? And so it gave me all the information. It was very nice and accurate. So we use that post.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's lots and lots of things that you can do in that aspect. So now you've got, in this case, you've got either your English version, your Spanish version, and make them both available. Create both of them, make them, if somebody's Spanish speaking, they can choose Spanish version. If English speaking, use the English version. So that now you've got that bilingual copy that you can use however you want. The whole idea here is getting them something that gives them content that compels them or makes them want to reach out to you and set up an appointment of some sort.
When you're also doing this in just a level of speed that you're not seldom going to find. We could have written this and it probably would have taken an hour to write, and then we could have gone to a job sourcing website and given them our prompt and asked them to translate it into Spanish, and then they could have done that. Well, now we're at probably 3 or 4 hours of work versus like 10 minutes of adding it to Chat GPT, and then maybe another 10 minutes of reading through it, making sure it's all correct and it all sounds good. And that speed is something that I feel like real estate agents, like, we've just got to start finding where we can steal back those 10-minute increments.
Absolutely. So, and I'm needing to rush a little bit more because I'm running out of time here, but let's say, for instance, we start getting people pulling this information down, and maybe we've got a team with an ISA, inside sales agent. And so we might do something like this. And this is just an example of some of the stuff that you can do. Act as a real estate agent's ISA. So you're telling ChatGPT, I want you to act as an inside sales agent. I want you to create a phone call script series for a new lead that has responded to a luxury home ad or website article. So just giving them what I want. I want to find luxury homes in the Springfield, Missouri area, and just some basic information and questions and stuff. And then, oh, by the way, I also want you to create an email and SMS text message that goes along with it that I can respond back to them if they give me their email and text number. So I can click enter on this, and then here's the script. Call one introduction. Hello, this is your name. Now, going back to the idea of seeding, had I put into and seeded that my ISA's name was Tony, then Tony would be in here as, hey, this is Tony from Luxury Home Team, and whatever the team name is or whatever. And it just kind of takes you through an entire script, a phone script that you could use to arrange an appointment with one of the specialists. Then at some point in here, it talks about, hey, can we get your phone number and make sure that we have your email address. Now that we've got your email address, let's go ahead and create the email text and email and its text. So here's call number 2. So if there's any kind of follow-up call, here's what can be said, and just kind of goes on and on. So now you can actually, think through some of the information and, is it exactly what you want to say? Maybe not, probably not, but it gives you some ideas and stuff on what you can say, some of the things that you should say, because they are trained. ChatGPT is trained on scripts from everywhere. This is the best way to do a script. So here is the template. It kind of goes through, and you'll notice that because ChatGPT, there was a lot of stuff there. It scrolled by. It got to a point and says, hey, I need to stop for a little bit. What you can say is continue. And then it will pick up as a reminder, we have set an appointment for you to speak with our luxury team, blah, blah, blah. So it goes through the process. So if something does stop in the middle, it's because ChatGPT is giving you a lot of content, and it doesn't just give it to you forever. It will stop because it's using computer time on their side, and they don't want to waste a lot of time. But if you didn't finish, type in continue, and it'll continue on. So that is the end of the email part. And then here's the part for the text message. So it just kind of goes on. So, and again, you could, if you needed to, translate this to Spanish and have all your templates and stuff ready-made and ready to go out without even having to deal with this. How cool is that? Okay. What I'm going to do, there's some things that I wanted to get on in conversion, but I'm going to go ahead and move over to operations. So I told you earlier, now operations, just as a reminder, operations deals with everything from the time you get the buyer's agreement or listing agreement all the way to closing day. Okay, that's the moneymaker stuff. A lot of YouTube videos, if you go out and say, you know, show me real estate ways to use ChatGPT, they're going to say, oh, just go in there and say, create a property description and then type in the address. And this is, you know, an address here in Bolivar, Missouri. And if I press enter on this, and it'll say, you know, here's the property description. Welcome to the stunning countryside retreat, beautiful property on 10 acres. You know, it sounds really good. 5,000 square feet of living space, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, spacious. It is, you know, very nicely written, lots of great content. But you know what the problem is? That ain't the description for that particular property. I can tell you because that's our house. Okay. That is not something that is right. So a lot of them will say, well, now you've got something, you can go in there and you can correct the information. And that's just adding more time to your pot of things that you've got to do. What I'm saying is that instead of just doing that very plainly, very generically, do something like this, where it says, you know, create a verbose, and I'm using the word verbose, just meaning wordy, 3-paragraph property description in long form text that highlights the features of the home described below. Include bullet points. Include bullet points of highlighted information and a summary of why they should take a look at the property. And then I seed it. This is going back to the seeding statement and how you seed it. I'm seeding it saying, hey, the address is this. The city is this. The state is this. The price, the bedrooms, the bathrooms. I'm seeding it. I'm telling it ahead of time what the information is. If I just type in an address, it doesn't know all this information unless it just happened to come across a, you know, whenever ChatGPT was programmed, it's only programmed up to a certain date. And it would have had to have maybe found a public access link to a property description for that particular property. And that rarely is right anyway. So, you know, just make sure that you put in the information that you want. And then I'm going to take off the quotes here. I don't think it really matters, but I'm just going to do that. So now it's going to take a different approach, and it's going to use the information that I actually supply it. And now it's creating good content. I don't have to go in there and change out the things that are wrong because I've told it what things are in there. Now, there could still create some wrong stuff, but typically it's not wrong spectacularly. It's just wrong with a few smaller things, and you can go in and make some minor modifications to them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Absolutely. Now, this comes out, it's long format, and you guys maybe want to use this for your MLS. Well, your MLSs typically have a limit to the size of number of characters that you can use. You could say something like, rewrite the above property description using less than 1,000 characters or words, you know, whatever your limitation is. So then I put it in there. So now it's going to rewrite, taking that same information, but rewriting it so that it's less than 1,000 characters long. Now I can grab that, paste that in to MLS and use it however I want. If instead of 1,000 characters, it's, you know, so many words or whatever, use whatever it is that you need.
And this is, Mark, this is a really great example of how you become that prompt engineer by taking those things. You're giving it seeded information that's good. It's giving you content, and then you're kind of going back and forth with Chat GPT to really narrow down or like focus it on specifically what you're looking for. And so I think that, you know, let's just look at this as a process as well. You did it in multiple steps, which you could argue takes more time, but it's allowing Chat GPT to process each of those individual things you're looking to do.
Absolutely. And, you know, as soon as it gets on the market, maybe you want to do some Facebook posts. You can say, create 5 Facebook posts for this property with hashtags.
Wow.
You know, looking for a luxury home in Bolivar, Missouri, check out this stunning property, blah, blah, blah. Now, maybe you don't want, and you could even say, if I don't want to put the address, I could say, you know, remove without the address, or, you know, just depends on what your limitations are, restrictions are for the things that you want to put out there. But it goes out, it tries to find the most accurate or best hashtags that would be usable for that. And maybe now, you know, every day I can go in there and just grab one of these, put it out there, and boom, it's done. It's, you know, every day I can post something different about it.
Mhm.
Great stuff.
Really
Okay. Man, I'm running out of time because we've got some other stuff to show you. We've got for retention, you know, going through, you could create emails and stuff for your operations, all of the different workflow processes that maybe you want to be able to do, or ideas for additional workflow processes. Certainly put them in there. There's lots and lots of ideas, and we're going to provide you with some of those at the end of this. But I just want you guys to realize that prompting in here is a matter of just think about talking to your assistant. How would you tell them exactly what you want them to do if they were brand new to the real estate agency, or if they were brand new to whatever? You want to give them the information that they need in order to be successful at bringing back whatever it is that you want. Pretty easy.
Quick question, Mark. The $20 is for one person using it, or is for a team, or for email address?
It's for a login. So if you want to share a login, you can do that
with my team.
What will happen is, you know, as you start typing information, you start prompting stuff over on the left-hand side, it will create your sessions. Every session that's created will stay in there. And if you go to a different session, the things that were typed in will be forgotten in that session. But if you go to a new session, it'll remember the information that you seeded it from that previous sessions. So like if you are creating information about your team and you want to create content about your team, create a team session that describes you, and then anything that you create content-wise based off of that. And it will use that seeded information there. But you can log in, and I think there is some limitation as far as multiple prompts at the exact same time. You would have to you know, wait till the other person's done with one prompt before you can do another prompt. So, you know, there is that, but it is you know, it is by login. You just have to have a shared login if you're going to share it that way.
Okay, thank you.
Let me go to one more. Let's just say Okay. On the retention side, I've got lots and lots of these that we've been creating, and let's say we've gone through the closing process, and I just want to maybe get some ideas for, what are some things that I can do for retaining my home buyers, my home sellers over the next 3 years? What are some things that might be of use to them in what they do? And so I type that in, and here are some ideas. This is the greatest thing about chat, is it gives ideas like crazy, and they're never the exact same idea. And because of that, you can really gain some really good insight on additional things that you can do to give world-class service to your customers, and make sure that they get what they need. Maybe you want to say, what I had one in here that for new home buyers, what are 10 things that they need to do to prep their house before winter comes or before summer comes, and it'll spit out these things. And now you can send that as a blog entry or an email, or whatever it is that you want to do. So you can create all kinds of great content for different purposes. In this case, retaining customers over the next 3 years. What are some things? Ideas for referrals, ideas for lots and lots of different things. So we are running out of time. I'm going to, and I apologize. Like I said, Cody said, I'm a little bit wordy. We are going to do this session again, and not everybody, not every one of them is being the same. So certainly on the next one, certainly attend it if you want more information. I'm going to go back over here, and we're going to kind of give you kind of what's next type thing here.
Yeah, so as we're wrapping this up, we knew that we weren't going to be able to give you guys the entire core over just an hour. And so Mark and I really wanted to sit down and figure out a way to help empower you guys most effectively. And we decided the best way to do that would be with a multi-day event, where we can look at each of the pieces of CORE, the conversions, the operations, the retentions, and the experience that kind of blankets all of them that you're giving your customers, and really dive into each of those pieces over a specific day. So right now we've kind of gotten a lot of the baseline, and unfortunately, getting all those terms and all of that stuff just takes a little more time. So we had to kind of not focus as much on each of these pieces. And, Mark was kind of jumping back and forth. So what we're going to be doing is, if you guys are interested in working a little bit further with us, we're going to be hosting a multi-day event to become the core agent with GPT. And when you attend this, you're going to walk away feeling like that technologically empowered real estate agent. You're going to be on the leading edge of the industry, because you're going to understand how to tactically apply Chat GPT to your real estate business. And inevitably, what that means is you're going to be more productive, you're going to save time, and you're going to be able to grow your business more effectively, utilizing some of the things that Mark was showing you today, and then diving even deeper.
Absolutely. So what we've got is got a special deal for you. We've got a multi-day event for $149 would be the value on that. We're not going to charge you that, but $149 basically for a 3-day event. Lifetime access to the replays for that, which a lot of people, whenever they go through the process, it's like, man, that was quick. I didn't quite understand this. You can go back. You'll get access to a membership area where you can go in and you can watch and rewatch as many times as you want. You'll get lifetime access to this replay and the other replays that we do for these webinars. Each one of them are a little bit different. Total value on that so far be $295. We've got some post-training resources that we'll be providing. I'm going to provide you something today as well, just so that you guys go away from this and know that you've got something, and we provided value for you, even if you don't want to do this full day course, but certainly something that would be useful to you that you can use every day in your business. And then we've got a whole list of GPT prompt guides that that will be available to you as well if you go through the course. So total value on that's $373. We're not charging that, obviously. We're going to do it for $97 for a 3-day event. I'm not sure that I could make it much more, but it's going to be value packed. We just scratched the surface of what we can do. I didn't even get through everything I wanted to get through, but we're going to spend the time that we can just go through on each one of the core segments: conversions, operations, retention, and encompassed experience, and make everything much better. Make sure that your prompts are worded correctly so that you get the best results available. As a software engineer, I understood prompt engineering very, very well, very easily. And I know real estate agents don't necessarily think the same way as a software engineer, but it's something that can be learned. It's something that can be understood because you guys have a better understanding of real estate in general, and you can use that knowledge to create great prompts because you know what you need even better than I do probably. Now I've spent the last 32 years doing this, so I know you guys inside and out, but at the same part, it's something that you guys can certainly learn.
Yeah, we got our little niche, so we know.
Absolutely.
Laura thinks, I think Laura, my wife, she's an engineer.
Oh, there you go.
She's always thinking.
Well, if you go to the workflowsecrets.info/RE-GPT/CORE/event. I know it's a long thing. Let me put this in the chat area just for everybody that you have access to. We will send you a link to this as well after the event, but definitely take a look at it. Billing information, what you get, all the things that you get. I am including also, and for those people that want to spend more time with me and Cody, after each day's event, you can go for the VIP experience. It gives you 2 extra things. Basically, it gives you the PDF copy to our book, which is you can get it on Amazon, obviously, but we'll give you the PDF version of that. But what the real advantage is, we're going to have like a 30-minute session after each session, and you can go in, dive deep with questions, and really do a mastermind amongst those people that are in that session. We are limiting the number of people that attend that right now to 20. We've got plenty of openings, so not necessarily a rush, but they will be going fast. We've got this session, we've got another session, and people are watching replays. So there will be a limited number on the mastermind access. So that's one thing. So the thing that I want to make sure that you guys get is that you understand how to ask questions properly in ChatGPT. And that's what this is all about, making sure that you understand and can get the right results. Now, since you guys stuck with me for so long, what I want to give you is this prompt. This is actually a prompt guide, one of the prompt guides that we use, that has just a few of the prompts. And these are the ones that I had planned on going over, and so that you can just copy them straight from this. So let me give you the URL on this, workflowsecrets.info/prompts. So let me type it up here just so that you guys see it. There's a shortcut to it, basically. Workflowsecrets.info is Cody's Workflow Secrets site, and prompts is the special link just to get to this page. It should take you straight to it. And basically on here, it has the different prompts for core, the conversions, all the different things for conversions that we talked about, operations, and I didn't hit all these. And this is just if I could just share with you for a second here, this is our spreadsheet of prompts that we've created over time of just things that are powerful, things that are just amazing to use, key tags, stuff like that. And whenever you join the core event, the 3-day event, you'll actually get access to the spreadsheet and all the additional stuff that goes along with it. But this is kind of what all I wanted to go over today and just didn't have time to cover it. There is a link in that link to get to the core event. If you guys need RealVolve, because I'm co-owner of RealVolve, definitely get a 14-day free trial. And if you're looking for a copy of the book, here's a link to the Amazon store that you can get to that. So lots of great content there. And we are a minute over. Cody, do you want to actually?
Yeah. So, you know,
questions?
if you guys will stick with us for, you know, a couple more seconds, if there are any last minute questions, we would be honored to help guide you in the right direction. Just anything that we covered today, nothing's off topic.
Going once, going twice.
Maybe we did a good job then.
Maybe.
Yeah, cool. Well, then, you know, we'll get you guys on the road. First and foremost, thank you again so much for attending today. What we will be doing is we'll, as soon as we hop off, we're going to start downloading this video recording and getting it hosted for you guys. And then we'll send you an email replay link so that you have access to it. The access is for 48 hours. And at that point, it will go away. If you'd like the full replay access as part of the GPT event, this webinar, as well as the one that we hosted last Thursday, will be included. And we're also going to be having another webinar this coming Friday, the 24th at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you'd like to attend, you're more than welcome to. My own personal ask is that you bring a friend with you so that they can also learn and enjoy this. But other than that, that's pretty well what we had for you guys today. Hopefully you were able to gain some value from it. And I'm really excited for this piece that Mark gave as well. Yeah.
That the last time we had the meeting, I just did all kinds of stuff and had a couple of people say, can we get what you typed? Because it's like, absolutely. So wanted just to make it all available. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. And if you have any questions, reach out. Cody's great at responding to any of the prompt questions and stuff, but we'll definitely look forward to seeing you in the future. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.
See you.